It's time for Ask the Expert on News Talk 105.9 WLNI. Answering your questions about mortgages.
They have to have at least 20 years before they are eligible for a VA loan.
Finance, home improvement.
Whole home generator systems, whether you install and maintain them.
Health, and more.
I have been trying to find a soil sterilant. I'm a gardener. Do you know of anything?
Have a question for today's expert? Call 846-8255 or email asktheexpert@WLNI.com.
It's Ask the Expert on News Talk 105.9 WLNI. Mary White and Brian Wiegand with you. And this morning we are talking with friends from Holy Cross Catholic School in Lynchburg, and joining us now the principal of Holy Cross, Patti Culbreth. Patti, good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be principal of Holy Cross.
Well, I've been in education for about 27 years. First as a classroom teacher. I've taught in private and public schools. Then I started to get into administration about 15 years ago and sort of worked my way up, trying different things, and the opportunity at Holy Cross presented itself about 3 years ago. So I moved to Holy Cross, and it's been wonderful to be there.
It sounds like you don't want to toot your own horn too much, so I'll brag on you for you, okay? You served as Director of College Counseling, Academic Dean, and Resource Teacher at Virginia Episcopal School. You hold a Master's of Education in Curriculum and Instruction from the University of Virginia and a Bachelor of Arts in English and Education from James Madison University.
That's correct.
Now, let me ask you, do you get into administration so you can get away from all the damn kids? Is that the main thing?
No, in fact, actually, that's the hardest part of administration,
Really?
Honestly, is to be away from the children. And
I have a very different outlook on kids, don't we?
That's why you don't, that's why you're not involved with the school, Brian.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Holy Cross School for our listeners who are not familiar with it. What's special about Holy Cross?
Well, I think if you ask anyone about Holy Cross that has any connection with our school, the first word you're going to hear is family. That Holy Cross is just a big family. Your children are welcomed every day by name. They're nurtured to be the best that they can be. It's totally a team approach, from the classroom teacher to the other teachers in the hallway, to the coaches, to the club sponsors, to the administration, and to other parents. Sometimes I think the kids worry that they feel the love a little too much. They maybe wish they could be a little more anonymous, but we are absolutely a family, and I think that's what you hear over and over again. Added to that atmosphere, that culture that we have, I would say that, having a school based on Christian values is wonderful. To be able to start the day and end the day in prayer sets the tone of expectation for high values and morals. We have high, rigorous academics. Our kids do extremely well on standardized tests like the Terra Nova. They do well on their PSATs and SATs so that they have lots of college choices. And they, in fact, do advanced calculus, Brian. They could do calculus AB or calculus BC.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I dropped it twice. So.
Right. You can come back. We can make room for you if you'd like to come back. I think we develop strong readers, we develop strong writers, scientists, mathematicians. I think the bottom line is that we really can individualize education to meet the needs of that particular child's strengths. And we recognize that every child is unique, and it's just a wonderful place to join together to try to make the most for those children.
It's grades K through 12,
It
right?
is pre-K through 12.
Pre-K through 12. How many students altogether?
We have 193 students in grades pre-K through 12. So it is an exciting place because there is always something happening. When you have 3 schools in one building, you might have a sing-along in the pre-K, followed by reading, doing some book reports in 5th grade, followed by learning some manners for our etiquette dinner at the middle school level, followed by hitting the varsity basketball game so that you can cheer on our high school students. So the day is varied and exciting, and again, that family atmosphere. We've got a lot of siblings, so we've got elementary students coming to the ball games to cheer on their older siblings. And we have older children that volunteer and are teachers' assistants down in the younger grades that love to reminisce and remember how wonderful it was to be a second grader.
Holy Cross Catholic School, as we speak to the
You don't let
principal,
in those
Patti
Protestants, do
Culbreth.
you?
Well, yeah, do you have to be Catholic to attend?
No, you do not have to be Catholic to attend. We are very happy to say that we are a Catholic school for all faiths. I'd say 50% of our teachers are Catholic and about 50 are from other denominations. About 60% of our kids are Catholic and about 40% are not. So it is very much a school steeped in Catholic tradition. But I would say in terms of a non-Catholic family thinking about us, you're looking at rigorous academics, you're looking at a school tied into faith, tied into values and morals in service. That's a big component of what we do as well. Engage the kids in opportunity to serve others. And yes, we do require it of our older kids, but you'd be surprised at the statistics that show our kids go above and beyond the hours that we ask them to do.
Do you have nuns there teaching classes?
We don't have nuns. I would love to have.
That's kind of gone by the by in Catholic schools, hasn't it?
Well, in many Catholic schools, there are still a few that have nuns. In our diocese, I would think there are 3 or 4 that still have sisters working with them. We were started by the Sisters of Charity, and they left many years ago, but now we just have lay teachers, yes. But we do
stories.
So the discipline kind of lapsed.
Whole
then.
stories
Is that right?
about the nuns, like
with
cracking
the rulers,
on the.
yeah.
I guess
Right.
I've probably heard that story from you, Brian. I don't know.
Right.
Well, I mean, I just had friends who went to Holy Cross, and that the nuns were tough.
Oh goodness.
The nuns were tough, and they,
See?
yes, they, the alumni events are always great fun to hear what the stories
The
were.
stories.
Yes, exactly.
Well, no, it's tough academically, but it sounds like you really encourage each child, and your graduation rate is 100% every year.
It is, which is phenomenal, really. And we, many of these students are with us from pre-K all the way through their graduation from high school. And so we do boast 100% college acceptance rate. And kids, with that, we also try to help them find the right college fit. And I guess that's my background as a college counselor as well, that I do get to work with the kids. As I said, I miss them sometimes not being in the classroom all the time. So I've taken great joy in sort of helping guide them with some of the college choices.
What are some of the colleges they're attending?
Well, we are celebrating early decision to William & Mary. We have a couple students that just heard from UVA in their early action, and we have one student that will be going up to Charlottesville this weekend to compete for the Jefferson Scholarship, which is a full ride to UVA, so that's fantastic. We have kids that are considering going to George Mason University. We have many that are still waiting out the April notifications.
If they get that early admission, then do you worry about that they're going to slack off the rest of the year?
You know,
That's what I did.
You notice I looked at Brian when I said that.
When it was over, once I got that letter, I'm in. Who needs high school?
Right. No, I have to say that our kids, they're working hard, and a lot of them are taking AP or dual enrollment classes that last year.
Yes.
So they don't slack off because they want to enter college with as much credit as they can get.
And also competing for scholarships, I imagine, as you know,
Yes.
the Jefferson Scholarship. And yeah.
Yes, exactly. We have another student going to Mount St. Mary's. So some of them look at some small Catholic colleges as well, and one is going to compete, again, for a full ride there. It's a kind of essay writing competition, a scholarship competition that way. So it's kind of all around. We have a student at University of Chicago, so they do go a little further afield sometimes. We have got 2 engineering students down at Virginia Tech. We have 3 soccer players that went to Emory and Henry and are playing together there at Emory and Henry. We have the goalie at Christopher Newport University is our former goalie. So,
It sounds like it's a relatively small school, 193 total students, and you're able to field very competitive, sounds like, sports teams. Tell us about the sports offerings that you have.
We do have competitive teams. We offer sports for grades 6 through 12, so it goes from middle school sports all the way through varsity level sports. So in the fall, the girls are offered volleyball. The boys can play soccer, and our soccer team has been notorious for its great success. We've been to the state finals several times. In the winter, everybody plays basketball, so we have 5 or 6, depending on how many teams we field, basketball teams for girls and boys. And in the spring,
Everybody plays, huh?
Everybody plays. And in the spring, we have girls can play soccer, boys baseball, and then girls and boys can play golf. And they do very well with that. But you were talking about all the kids playing. I think that's the other beauty of having a small school is that we encourage the kids to participate in these team sports. But not only do we encourage it, but their peers encourage it. And so we are very happy to have about 7 international students with us this year. And some of those students have never played a particular sport. And so we might be cheering for our team to win, and it's always nice to win. But many times the gym is rocking because one of our international students made their first basket ever, and everyone is so behind them and so excited about that. And so I think that's the beauty of it as well, is that we can integrate some of these international kids into the culture of our school.
What are some of the countries represented?
We have some students from China, from South Korea. We have a student from Finland. We have a student from Italy. I think that might be it.
Wow.
And Denmark.
Denmark. Wow.
This year.
No one from Bhutan.
Not yet.
Not yet. We can hope that they're listening to the radio today.
We're
I hope they're online listening.
speaking with Patti Culbreth, principal of Holy Cross Catholic School. When we come back, let's talk about some more opportunities for your students to get involved outside of the classroom, like fine arts, things like that, and also some events that you have coming up for prospective parents.
Super. Thank
9:17. We'll be right back on Ask the Expert.
Or online at Franklin County YMCA.
It's 9:21 here on Ask the Expert on News Talk 105.9 WLNI. Mary and Brian with you. If you'd like to ask a question of our guest this morning, you may call 846-TALK. That's 846-8255. You can get us toll free at 866-338-1059. Our email address is asktheexpert@WLNI.com. Patti Culbreth, who is the principal of Holy Cross School, is with us. And by the way, their number there, if you'd like to call and talk to them, set up an appointment maybe. If you'd like to think about sending your kid there, 847-5436, and the website holycrossforyou.org. Now, something let's mention here, we talked about just very briefly in the break. You all are one of the very few independent or private schools around here that has SACS accreditation. That's Southern Association of Colleges and Schools.
That's right.
What does that mean practically?
Well, SACS is one of the most rigorous formats for accreditation, and we went through our reaccreditation last year and passed with flying colors. What it means in terms of a parent and looking at a school is that there's very strict curriculum standards, and there's very strict standards for teachers and their qualifications. All our teachers hold Virginia teaching licenses, which a lot of the other private schools don't have. So I think there's that sense of security knowing that your teacher had education courses, understands about children and their development, how to motivate students, how to write great lesson plans. So we're very proud of that. And it was a lot of hard work, I will say, but it helped us as a school to grow and set some new goals. And we're very proud that we're SACS accredited.
Tell us about some of the other opportunities, say fine arts for Holy Cross students.
Right. We have a wonderful art teacher, Mrs. Debbie Pocalyko. And if you ever have a chance to come by Holy Cross, you're just going to see our hallways filled with art. She is fabulous about changing. It's like living in a gallery, truly. Mm-hmm. She changes things up all the time. She does art with our kids pre-K through 12. So as they get older and if they really love art, they'll take the studio art classes in high school and work on portfolios. And in fact, she's inspired 3 of our seniors this year to apply to art schools. So they've worked hard on their art portfolios, which are fabulous, and we're anxiously awaiting news for those students too about art schools. So that fine arts is going on. We also have a growing orchestra. We have a wonderful young orchestra teacher who is just breathing life and energy into our program. We also offer band to our students as well. We offer drama. We have plays in the elementary level, and then we have a great middle school drama, in fact, that's become so popular that we have to rent an auditorium at Lynchburg College to hold the guests that come to see this play. And we also have high school drama. So that is also offered in the fine arts as well. Along with that, we have what we would probably call specials every day for our students, in particular in the elementary. You know, they have computer classes, they go to the library regularly, they have art, they have PE, and they have music, just general music as well, which we have a high school choir that is, sings beautifully. In fact, one of their favorite songs is Taylor the Latte Boy. So I'm hoping that maybe we can do a bit of a flash mob or something at a Starbucks near you.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yes.
I love the flash mobs.
They don't do Gangnam Style?
Oh, no, we haven't done that.
Probably just as well.
We're talking about small class sizes, and this is because it's a relatively small school, and you're talking about, say, 15 kids per grade level. Does that allow you to have different courses? Like, what if not all of the students are ready for calculus? Some are doing calculus, some are doing, I don't know, maybe geometry or trig.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's a great question. And actually, once you reach the high school level, you are tracked according to your abilities. Mm-hmm. And so there might be mixed classes. There might be some juniors and seniors in a class together, perhaps in foreign language. Maybe someone started foreign language in 8th grade where someone else decided to wait until 10th grade to start foreign language. Same with the math classes, also with science classes, generally English. Each year you have to take English so the kids stay with their classes. And generally you have to take a history course each year that kind of keeps them together as well. Our students also take a religion course, all our kids, so they're together in that. And that's a great opportunity to build community using that class at that time.
And speaking of community, your kids contribute hundreds of hours of service. Volunteer service. What are some of the projects that they do?
They do. They often do service projects at their own churches. Many of our kids, if they're Catholic, they might be altar servers or readers at Mass or greeters. Some other students in the other denominations do that as well for their churches. We have our little ones sometimes go out and plant flower bulbs at the local churches, and so in the spring they're all just sprouting with great beauty. And we have students that go down to Daily Bread and help serve. Many of them do kind of rake and run, where they've gone to homes of the elderly and rake their yards for them in the fall. We help a lot with Tabor Retreat Center, which is our neighbor right next door, which is also run by the Catholic Diocese, but we are great friends with Deacon Gordon there and try to help him out as we can. And
now you also have part of your curriculum, Writing to be Read.
We do.
Can you give us a quick idea of what that is?
Writing to be Read is a cross-curricular writing program that starts in the early grades. And what we did is we decided what makes a strong writer and what kinds of papers and writing projects that they need to do at each level and what would be developmentally appropriate to grow as a writer. And so that's what we do. We hold the teachers accountable for working on those particular prompts and those particular projects. And so each teacher knows to grow on that throughout their course of their time at Holy Cross so that they become strong writers. We generally sweep the competition when we have young authors. Very proud of our kids with that. And actually, recently I had a college consultant that came by to work with our seniors on their college essays. And the one thing she said to me was, your kids are great writers. And these are kids that have been with us since pre-K. And so it was kind of nice to hear from somebody totally unrelated to the school, but knows what colleges are looking for.
So they can express themselves in more than 140 characters?
Yes, exactly. Or if it's 140, we make sure they count.
Very good.
Very quickly, technology. How do you incorporate that? What is it? A BYO?
Bring your own technology thing we've talked about
at Holy Cross, like their devices, and do you use that yet?
We do not use that yet.
Okay.
That's a great piece of discussion always in our administrative meetings. Right now, we're able to offer the students access to technology that they need when they need it in that particular class. Our young kids have computers twice a week, and so our computer expert, Mrs. Carolyn Jones, will work with the classroom teachers to try to integrate the technology with a project they're doing in their classroom. For instance, our little ones are studying dinosaurs right now, and so they were working on some art projects that had to do with dinosaurs on the computerized art, when I was in there just observing last week.
And Patty, real fast, we're almost out of time here, so we want to let listeners know about upcoming events that you have at Holy Cross.
That's great. We have National Catholic Schools Week starting next week. It starts Sunday, January 27th. Each day we celebrate something really great about Catholic schools. We have an open house to the public on Tuesday, January 29th at 5 p.m., or if you have students in pre-K or K for next year, please contact us because we have K-Day on Thursday of next week, and you can come and check out the classes and meet some other parents. We would love for anyone to call us.
holycrossforyou.org is the website. Patti Culbreth, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Here's the latest forecast from the Storm Team 10 Weather Center.